So how do they actually get that data? A lot of this data is so siloed. So, you know, it's not like a Google Analytics suite that it captures everything. So how are they making these associations?
Yeah, so that is the big question, right? So what we used to say was put everything into a single data warehouse, Teradata, right? And so you have a single version of the truth. But the data volumes are getting so big these days that it typically lands into what we call data lake, and you mentioned it. If you don't wrangle and clean it, it becomes very quickly a data swamp, right? Because you don't know what is there. So you have to be very careful that you have clean, good data. And out of multiple sources, you can load it into the data lake. Then you have to be able to analyze it in a single tool. So there's this discovery process. So you have to have some kind of discovery process, and that's where the hot new profession, data scientists, come into place, right? They have to know what is there, what makes statistically good sense, how to do different tools like sentiment analysis against text, right? Is it good, is it bad sentiment? Market segmentation, using functions like k-means or collaborative filtering and stuff like that, and come up with an application, and then you operationalize it. But yeah, the big data lake, which these days often means Hadoop, which has sort of reduced the cost of storing and analyzing the data a lot, comes into big play. But once you get into the next phase where you have to put everything into operation, the Hadoop platform typically is not performant enough. So you need to then start using perhaps different technologies to put it into operation. So you can make these decisions fast enough. We had one application that relied on sending some kind of an ad based on customer background to a customer while he's sitting at the ATM teller, right? And you're there only for a couple of minutes. You don't want to wait for an ad. You want your money out. But there is a little bit of time delay while the bank goes and checks and gets the money out, where you have time to put an ad on the screen. So the time to get that becomes very important. And while you're doing this data discovery, you don't necessarily think of the time aspect. But once you put it into operations, you have to start thinking about it.